You Don't Know My Story, right here on WSAN Radio. And our guest today is Clifford Mack. But anyway, it's coming up now, straight up 10 o'clock on this Thursday morning. And oh, do I have somebody on the show today? Oh, she kept me straight too. She texted me earlier. Did you send me the link? I thought I did. And I said, my bad. My bad. But thank you for reaching out and asking. It has been, how can I put it? This year has started off with a big bang. It didn't slowly, gradually creep up on me. It just happened. And when I met this lady right here, it just happened. And I fell in love with her story on what she had and everything. And it was wonderful that. And then I asked her her name. I said, huh? Seriously, that's your name? She said, well, people call me C-Mac. I said, okay, I can deal with that. Well, here she is, Miss C-Mac. How are you doing this morning?
Hello, Frank. Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, Clifford is my real name. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I love how you broke that story down. But you know what? That is the usual response when I say my name, but I love it now. I didn't before, but I love it now.
Oh, I think it's great. Be honest with you, I have
Thank
no
you.
problem with it. You know,
Thank
I
you.
would never talk bad about you because you get me back.
You know what? Nope, I wouldn't. See what you said before, how you were bold. I'm bold too, but nope, nope, mm-mm. Because I know I'm good. So, but I know that was a joke. I know that was a joke. You're not gonna talk bad about me.
Yeah, well,
Thank you, Gordon. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm looking up something right here, so make sure I ask you some questions.
Okay, great.
There we go. I was making sure it did a crossover and got our video on right here, so it's looking good right here. I am doing
Awesome.
great. Um, I just read your bio. Well, I read it already. HBCU graduate, huh?
HBCU grad, Fayetteville State University. Shout out to all the Broncos watching in
Oh,
Fayetteville,
because
North Carolina.
I've been nominated by the HBCU here in San Antonio, Community Impact Award.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and I've been working with the HBCU for about 3 years. Monique Robinson, I ran across her. You know how you run across people, and I ran across her, and she was telling me what she was doing. And I said, that's fantastic. I said, can I team up with you? She said, sure. She said, what you mean? I said, whatever you need from me, just let me know.
Right,
And she
right.
reached out to me, Ron, we got this event going, and I'll do a commercial, put it out there, and just to let everybody know informed. But I am so proud of her, what she's doing. She
Yeah,
is really deep involved on HBCU. And a lot of people are just at awe. One thing is, people don't understand. Oh, let me give you a little story real quick.
go ahead.
It was this black guy with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And at that time, the Steelers were not as good. So Chuck Noll came in as a coach. As one guy came, I guess he was a scout, I forget his name. He started recruiting from SBCU colleges.
Okay.
He started recruiting football from them.
Oh,
And
wow.
they end up winning all these Super Bowls because of that. And that was the start of HBCU athletes getting into football,
Mm.
basketball, baseball, because they seen that need. But it's sad to say, I think it was 2024 or 2023, not one HBCU athlete in football that I know of was drafted by any NFL team.
Wow. You know what? I love sports. I love watching basketball. I love watching football. Um, Even the Olympics as well. I love synchronized swimming. But when it comes to HBCU football, um, that's very unfortunate to know that because we have a lot of talent. When it comes to HBCUs, there is a lot of hidden talent. So I don't know why scouts just don't go and take a chance. We got a lot of money coming in, right? And listen, Deion Sanders has done an amazing job.
Yes, he
However,
has.
I don't know. honestly, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't know where the disconnect is when it comes to the recruitment process, the onboarding process, the process of taking a chance on these athletes. There's actually, I do not know his name, Lord forgive me, but he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. He has just won he won back-to-back Super Bowl rings with the Kansas City Chiefs. He is an HBCU graduate from Fayetteville State University.
Mm,
Yes. So
wow.
I don't know where the disconnect is when it comes to recruiting athletes from HBCUs. Give them a chance. Let
Yep.
them try out at the combine. Like, I don't know. Hopefully it changes, Gordon.
Yeah. Maybe it will. Maybe it will.
Yeah.
All right. How do we get off on that? I started it. It's my fault,
You started
everybody.
it. It's okay. It's okay. You were in your
This
heart.
show is about you. And the
Oh,
reason why I'm gonna bring that up, you had a story when you were and all you ladies was on my show little over a month ago,
yeah, like
maybe
back in
2 days.
January, I believe.
Yeah. And you had a story that I sat down there and I just looked at you. I just stared at you because we had some of the same things in common. Um, and it was amazing on how you prevail. So where you at right now. So let's go back and let's talk about you on how you got started.
Oh, wow. How I got started in radio, podcasting. Okay, well, I was 15 years old. I'll take you back there. I was 15 years old. I was volunteering at a radio station back home in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Shout out to WCCG 104.5 FM, Carson Communication Station. I volunteered there. I was a street team member, and what that consisted of was promoting the radio station, promoting concerts and events in the community, and being a 15-year-old, being amongst other volunteers who were also my age and a little bit older, it was so much fun. It was so much fun being in that realm, being in that environment, and helping the community. So the program director at the time, Vic Frost, he looked at me and he said, "You know what, kid? You got something. I'm telling you, I did my due diligence. I worked hard. I was determined. I was just filled with so much energy. So within 4 months of being a volunteer at the radio station and being on the street team, I was offered a Saturday morning slot. I was the youngest radio personality in my city alone with a Saturday morning show from 6 to 10 a.m. in high school. And it was called the High School Jamboree. I'll never forget it. But yeah, that's how I got started in radio. So I was around all of the radio personalities around me, and I looked up to them. Dina Metro, Big Bruce, I mean, TD Jakes, no, I'm sorry, Jenkins. I learned so much from them, and I wanted to just continue to be in that environment. And I was trained, and I learned how to produce. I learned how to write commercials. I learned how to do voiceovers. And that's how I got started in radio. So that continued until I graduated high school. And then they said, you know what, you need to go get your degree.
Mm,
So I went and received my bachelor's degree, and I also volunteered at the college radio station at the time. And it was amazing. It was more than just working with all the celebrities and the artists and the hip hop and R&B sector and that genre. I learned a lot. I learned how to coordinate concerts. I learned how to write scripts. I learned the I learned how to transition conversations. And that's what we learn in radio, because when you're wearing those headphones, you hear your voice, you hear the lisp, and I had one. I learned how to work under pressure. I learned how to just take things on at the last minute. When you have a lot of people in the studio with you and you're interviewing an artist, hey, can you interview Fat Joe? And Fat Joe is on the phone, or you may have someone come in the studio in person and they have the entire entourage in the studio with you. So we're talking about pressure. We're talking good pressure. We're talking about growing, because we grow in uncomfortable situations. Um,
yeah.
But that's how I got started. So not only did I start radio at 15 years old as a volunteer, and I received my bachelor's degree from Fayetteville State in communication. After that, I took on the afternoon slot from 10 a.m. to 3 o'clock. So I was on the radio, on the air in the afternoons for WCCG for some time. And wow, yeah, now I'm here and I have my own podcast and I'm still going. I'm doing voiceovers. I'm meeting people like you and I'm still going. So that's how I got started.
Mm. So
Yeah.
let me ask you something about radio.
Yeah.
Somebody watched me one time and I was writing out what I was going to say. And they said, you misspelled that word. I said, no, I didn't. So I kept on writing. I kept on writing everything down. You misspelled a couple of words. I said, well, I was brought up in the old school day. And to pronounce a word, we look at it how it looks to us. And we know what the word is. It's almost like a person in the courtroom, the stenographer.
Yes.
She could pick it up and read it. But I said, I learned how to write the way I could read it
Mm,
instead of have that long word. Sometimes when you're reading, especially doing a promo commercial, you stumble on that one word. So this guy taught me, how does it sound to you? How would you spell it? And I said, I don't know. So he showed me. He said, now this is how you do it. People think that we're crazy because we're misspelling words. No, we're
right.
not. We're spelling it the way that we could announce it and know it's the right word.
Correct.
Did you have anything like that you had to do? Is that
Um, when it comes to that, and I completely understand what you're talking about. Sometimes when it comes to words, and I'm if I misspell a word, I don't write it full out. It's all about shorthand and it's all about working smarter, not harder.
mm-hmm.
Especially when you're doing voiceovers, you're reading commercials, or you're writing those scripts on your own. You want to save yourself some time. I don't see anything wrong with that. It's not like it's being published. Now, if it's being published, that's
Yeah.
different. You want to make sure that all the words are being spelled correctly, right? But when it comes to writing the script, you do what makes you comfortable. But I'm glad that he showed you the art to it.
Yeah.
Radio is an art, communication is an art. How you speak to people professionally, it's an art, especially in this industry. I didn't really, I didn't um come against challenges like that. And for lack of better words, I say challenges. But when it comes to radio, Gordon, I had to learn how to slow down.
Yes.
I had to learn how to slow down when it came to my voice, when it came to me speaking, because if I was talking so fast, then I would stutter over my words. And one thing about being community advocates or the voice of your community, like we're voices for San Antonio, right? We have to make sure that we're slowing down. We have to make sure that we're saying everything that, so people can understand. We have to understand that there's an audience that is listening to us, whether it's local or international, especially when we get on stages
Mm.
or when we're in intimate settings. So that's what I had to learn. And that it was a challenge for me because I had to learn how to slow down. My mother was listening to me when I was on air one day. And she said, you know what, honey, you just need to slow down. Just slow down. And I started slowing down. I started getting better. I started getting better and better and better and better. So now it's like, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like you and
Yep.
I both, we have speech impediments. We stuttered a lot. And even when I bring that up, and I brought that up in my story, um, people looked surprised. Like, what? I would have never known if you wouldn't have told me. It takes a lot of work. So yeah,
And that's one thing we had in common is that
yeah.
before I go there, I want to say Texas is very unique on how they spell here in Texas. Somebody was trying to pronounce Cibolo and they call it Cibolo.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
I can see
did,
that.
this is why I told them, take away the C and put an S there. Huh? Do that. Did it? Cibolo. Exactly. Well, why they spelled
Mhm.
with a C, I have no idea. I have no
I have no
idea.
idea.
Something as
I had to
simple
learn.
as that I
Right.
learned that when people come down, they try to pronounce some of the words down. I said, replace this letter with this letter right here.
Yeah.
Man, I never would have thought of that. I said, I've been down there too long, so you got to pronounce all this. So get back to the stuttering part.
Right.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
I was bullied, kicked, beat up because I stuttered. But wasn't nothing wrong with me upstairs. It's just I had to learn how to slow down, and
Yeah.
radio and DJing taught me how to do that. So I turned around and I utilized this mic right here. I put that in my head. So every time the mic is on, I stop stuttering. So you know what? Let me shove that in my brain and say, brain, whatever you do,
Right.
that mic goes on, stop stuttering. So it's on all the time, but I do stumble sometimes. And what
Yeah.
you said when I do stumble, as talking too fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
And
feel you on that.
yeah, the same. I stumble over my words at times, but I will tell you this, Gordon, I have more control. I have more control. Radio has taught me so much. If anything, it's taught me so much. It's taught me how to transition conversations, even when I am doing my interviews. Everything that we have learned in this space, everything that we have learned in radio, in the industry, especially for me at a young age, it is my own personal gumbo. It's my own personal recipe. And I take everything that I have learned, even my failures and the challenges and my triumphs, I remember those. They don't go away. They're my memory bank. I know
Yeah.
that I need to slow down. And if it's a word that, let's say I am reading something, um a script, and there's a word that I am stumbling on, well, I'll put it in Google, and then I'll press the speaker so I can hear it, so I can hear how it's pronounced. That way I say it a couple of times myself, and then boom, when I'm reading that script, honey, it flows like butter. So
Are you sure
we
you're not
do
related?
things to help ourselves.
Yeah.
Like
Are you
everybody
sure?
does it.
Yeah. Are you sure you're not related to me?
I
Because I
don't
do the
know.
same thing
Look,
with Google. If I can't pronounce the word, I find it and I list. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it.
and I'm not ashamed to say that. I don't gatekeep what helps me. I'm all about, I'm very resourceful. If it's something that I may not be equipped to handle or do just yet or master just yet, but guess what? I'm going to go to a friend. I'm going to ask them. So it's not about gatekeeping. It's not about feeling ashamed. You know what actors have to do to prepare for a role?
Mm,
It's the same thing. It's the same thing when we are behind the mic and we have a full day. We have a full script. We have commercials that we need to read on top of the hour, and I will also have to voice the weather as well. So yeah, yeah.
yeah, I feel you. Now, let me ask you this question because
Okay.
somebody came and gave me some constructive criticism. And before they gave it to me, they said, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but this is what I see. I said, thank you. I need to know that. How
Yeah.
can I correct myself and make myself better if I don't listen to other people telling me this?
Hmm.
So, how do you feel about constructive criticism when it comes to your way? Because some people, ooh, get upset. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. First and foremost, I believe in tone is everything. Tone is everything, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So if someone is coming at me, giving me constructive criticism, but saying it in a very hurtful way, then I feel like the message gets lost. However, in my age now, where I have more wisdom, I do my best not to become offended at all, if anything. I want the feedback. I want to get better. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. If I'm the smartest person in the room, then that's a problem. I need to find other rooms to place myself in so I can learn and I can grow. How do I feel about constructive criticism? I think it's great for us. I think it's great for me because I want to be better. I don't want to be the same person that I was last year. I don't
Yeah.
want to stay stagnant. I don't like that. So it's like a seed. A seed has to push through all that dirt so it can finally blossom into a beautiful rose or flower or plant, whatever. So, criticism is going to come. That's what comes with it. Whether you're a public figure, you're a teacher, you're a banker, anything, if you are working a 9 to 5, even if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have the criticism. I believe it is um, God using people to polish us, because I use the metaphor and I think of a diamond. Well, a diamond doesn't shine until it's constantly placed in the fire. So I think of it like that. But if you are coming across me with corrective criticism and your tone is disruptive, it is malicious, it is negative. Okay, let me process what you said. Thank you so much. But also, we have to think about how we come across people when it comes to communicating
Hmm.
corrective criticism, because if you're coming with someone with malicious intent and motives with what you're saying, oh well, it's coming from a good place. Is it really coming from a good place? Because sometimes people will just tell you things just to like get in your head, throw you off your game because you're shining, because you're impacting the community. They don't like that. Some
Right.
people don't like that. And it just comes with it. So for me, I process it, but I also know I know the difference between, okay, is this person being genuine or is this person being ignorant?
Mm.
Yeah.
One thing I run across, I don't know if I was wrong for what I said, but I said it anyway.
I heard you when you talked about
This,
the story being bold.
yep, this is the one when somebody haven't told me, if I was you, I wouldn't do this. I said, what do you mean if you was me? Well, how you doing things on your show? If I was you, I wouldn't do this. I said, do you have a radio station? No. Do you get up at 5 in the morning to prepare? No. But that's the difference between me and you. I do what I feel was best. But when you
Right.
come up and tell me I shouldn't do this, number one, you're not paying my rent. You're not paying my
Well,
bills. You see,
well.
that criticism goes to the point that they try to tell you how to run your business and
Hmm.
they don't know your business.
Right,
And,
right.
and at one time earlier in life, I got bent out of shape with that. I want to fight.
Ah,
But then I started realizing when you do something like that, you gotta be doing something right, or else
yes,
that person would not be coming at you to bring you down.
that's right.
So I had
Absolutely.
to look at it that way. And once I looked at it that way, girl, things bounce off me like I'm Superman. I just bounce off me and I just keep on going. You can say something negative. Thank you. You have a great day. And I keep on
Hmm.
pushing.
Hmm.
But those
Absolutely.
are some of the things that being in business and being yourself, because I say this every time to everybody. Your show, C-Mac, my show, you look at it, you see that facade, you see the polished image, everything look beautiful.
Hmm.
But go behind those scenes and find out how did it take to get that where you're
Right,
going. People don't
right,
understand what it cost. Not
right.
only money, but time and stuff. How you have to self-teach yourself something because, hey,
Hmm.
I don't have the money to do this. Let me figure it out myself. And people
Absolutely.
don't realize that. All this is a printed the finished product and think that you all that in a bag of chips. Well, actually I am because I
I
figured it
am.
out.
I am. I
So
am. Yeah, no, I agree with you. It takes a lot. As you said, people see the finished product. They don't see the blood, the sweat, the tears. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. You don't see the sacrifices. Okay. What it takes to write and produce a flow, a radio show, a podcast show. People don't know what you need to do. And a lot of people, I know people right now who have platforms, and guess what? They taught themselves how to work the equipment.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I'm like a one-stop shop, but it's like I am a one-girl band. It is all me, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to creating my promo flyers, when it comes to just creating the timeline of the entire show of how it's going to flow. I'm my own director, I'm my own producer, I'm my own voiceover artist. I'm my own boss. I'm an entrepreneur. And it's not easy. Otherwise, everyone will be doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mhm.
You're so right, because I'm
Yeah.
a one-man show myself.
I
I,
am a one girl band. I'm
I
telling
do
you.
everything from take my equipment out and setting it up to breaking it down, putting it up. I am a one-man show. And
Yeah.
I have always been like that. I mean, in the past, I got burned real bad. And
Mm.
so my trust issue is starting to come down now, but my trust issue is so high, I ain't trust the weatherman.
All right. Well, look, good for you. I'm happy. I am so happy and congratulations on that. That is a healing journey in itself.
Yeah.
It's a healing journey. And healing is not painless.
No, it isn't.
Okay? So if you want to take it there, we can, but healing is not painless. The radio industry, it is a male dominated industry. Yes, has it grown? Yes, it is. And it's so amazing to see how the industry has changed in real time, Gordon. Like back
Hmm.
in 2002, when I started, 2003, 2000, 2002, 2003, and just to see where radio is now,
Yes.
it's mind blowing. And now we have social media, you know so it is just amazing to see how it's grown. But yes, when you say you've been burned, man, it's when your ratings are increasing and you're very popular and people are inviting you to places and they want you to come speak at places and you're on panels and you got the photo shoots and you're with all the celebrities and things like that. Yeah, people gonna get jealous, man. Some people don't like that.
No.
So they
Well,
don't like that.
well, with me, somebody told me the other day, man, you so humble. I see all the people that you know, who you talk to, who you interview. Man, you up there with them. Up there with them with what? So I'm just Ron. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just Ron. I don't look at it like that. I don't look at status. Most
Right.
people look at the status. Oh, I'm up here. I'm doing that. I could care less where I'm number one or number 100.
Right.
Doesn't bother me.
Exactly.
I'm the same as it is. And anybody knew me 10 years ago to right now, I haven't changed. If anything, I got a little bit more bolder,
Yeah.
but I haven't changed at all. So tell us about CMAC. Tell us a story that nobody knows about you.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. Okay, you got me. That's a really good question. Um, wow. You know what? Let's see. All right. So speaking engagements are different. Sometimes when I'm at speaking engagements, I share information that I haven't necessarily shared over the air or on my platform. So some people don't know that I was a housekeeper. Some people don't know that I was a CNA. Some people don't know that I moved to Texas with my 4-year-old son with nothing. I uprooted my life a few times in California and in Texas. Just trying to start over. Tell something that no one knows about me. Um, you know, what I can tell you right now is that I started therapy in 2021. And it came from being abused in a past relationship. Um, that triggered me into starting my own healing journey. And I'm telling you, it's been a painful one, but so necessary because I'm just so happy with who I am now. Um, and I'm an advocate for mental health and emotional well being. Please go to therapy. And for everyone watching and listening, please go to therapy. I know there's a huge taboo sometimes when we speak of therapy, especially in our culture. People don't like to
Yeah.
go, but please go. Whether you're doing well in life or you just find yourself in a dark place, please go to therapy. I was a people's pleaser. God healed me from that. People bondage. We're not dealing with that anymore. I'm not dealing with that anymore. Um, I'm not, neither am I dimming my light for people anymore. I know who I am now. And I thought about this the other day. Man, it's been so many times, so many situations that I didn't know who I was versus who I am now. I know who I am and whose I am. It could have been, I was in some situations where I could have been in jail. You know, I don't talk about that much, but it's true. And one thing for sure, Gordon, is that I never want to come across like I have it all together. I never want to come across that I have all the answers. I never want to come across that I've never been through anything. But the way that I am, that I am is because of what I have been through, how I have been abused by people in friendships, in past relationships, that I had no idea it was abuse until I came to an age to fully understand. So I hope that answers your question. Just realizing who I was back then. Oh my gosh, I'm a completely different person now. So for people watching, the person that you met 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the Clifford you met 30 years ago, she's a different Clifford today. So you're going to have to just relearn me all over again.
That's a good way of putting it.
I mean, for real, we are not deemed to stay the same. We're going to change. We change like the next 5 minutes, year, the month, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. I mean, we are supposed to grow and elevate. So, yeah, with all that being said, God is definitely real. He is the head of my life. Definitely have to put that out there.
There's one word I could put for you right now. Just one word: resilient. That's the word I could come up with. The things that you went through, and even though you didn't know you was doing it, you was resilient to overcome all that and where you are today. And you admitted your flaws.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's hard for people to admit, 'cause a lot of people say, there's nothing wrong with me. Well, there's something wrong with you. You just said nothing wrong with you. That means something wrong with you. You have to admit
Yeah.
that you are wrong. You have to admit the things that you shouldn't have done. And then you have to admit now how you grew from that.
Yes.
Because every time you do something wrong, that's a learning experience.
Mhm.
Will I do that again? Absolutely not. But if it
No.
was a good experience, like I remember I wrote in one of my on papers, I went to Southwest Texas State University here.
Okay.
I wrote in my paper at the end, I tagged it, years of wandering is years gathering experience. And the professor me, what do you mean by that? I said, all experience is not good experience. If
Mm,
it's bad experience, you're not going to do it again. But if it's good experience, you're going to put that in your database and you're going to use that to move forward.
yeah.
That's what I meant by that. He said, I never looked at it like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have your years of experience. You had a birthday. I know that we were talking at the Dream Week speaker series, the
Yes.
Dream Hour, and I know that you had a birthday, and I just had a birthday last month. So it's like I have 39 years of experience. This is what I come with. Um, and you have your experience. We all have stories to tell.
Hmm.
Some of those stories we don't share. There's always a time and place. Does it mean that we're ashamed? Does it mean that we feel guilty? Um, there could be some truth to that because we're human beings. And a lot of times when it comes to our past and talking about our past, and why it takes so long to talk about our past and uncover some things is because of guilt and shame.
Mm.
Okay. A lot of us struggle with it, and I have to come from underneath that. You know, everything that was meant to keep me buried, literally, I rose above that. Thank you so much for saying resilient, because I speak on my platform about resiliency. Everyone has a story to tell. Sometimes I was being resilient. I didn't know I was being resilient. 10 years ago, when I moved here from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Texas with my son, who was 4 at the time, he's 14 years old now. Yeah, I ran into some barricades. I ran into some struggles here and there. I ran into some challenges. That was all meant for me, because God already knew what I was going to endure. He already knew what was going to be in front of me, but he also knew what was going to be for me 10 years later.
Yeah.
And look where I am now. I get to talk about those things to people like you on platforms, in magazines, and things of that nature. Being asked to come to schools and talk to kids, or whatever the case may be, to sit on panels, to talk to women. I mean, I knew all of this was going to come to fruition.
Yeah.
I knew it. It was just I didn't know when. So yeah, you're
Mm.
so right. It's so true. Thank you so much. I mean, woo, I feel like I want to get that word like inked on me. Um, Resilient. That is just, that should be my middle name or something, but
Yeah.
for sure. But it's been hard. It's been hard. It's been difficult. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh my gosh, yes, it was just amazing. No, it was hard. I have cried. I have shared tears. I have cried at night. I have prayed, God, why me? Like, what am I going to do? Like, back up against the wall.
Yeah.
So
I,
when you hit rock bottom, that's when I guess for me, that's when I found God, and knew that He was that rock at the bottom. And I
mm-hmm.
started from scratch. I started from scratch. Some people are saying, how can you drive across the country with a 4-year-old? How did you do it?
Ooh.
Well, you know, how did you move out of your apartment? How did you move to Texas with nothing? I just did it. Yes, I have family here that helped me along the way. But I had to find my own jobs. I had to save my own money. I had to move into my own apartment. Um, I'm moving in these places by myself. Okay. So when you're talking about you have maybe a 45-minute to an hour lunch break, I will go to my aunt's condo, gather my things, put it in my car. At the time, I was driving a Saturn. They don't even make those anymore. Okay. I would put all of my household items and my decor or whatever I had in the car, drive all the way back to Castroville, because I was living in Castro. I lived in Castroville for 5 years, and I would take it to my new apartment, unload the car, and then go back to work. So after work, I would just unpack the boxes and put things where I wanted them. And
Mm.
I did all that by myself.
Mm, mm, mm. There's that famous word again, resilient.
I know, man.
There's that word right there.
I,
I got somebody who asking a question. I said,
okay.
"Wow, look at
Hi.
you."
Hi,
Um,
everybody. Well, I shared it. I shared it on my platform. So I'm just so happy that people are tuning in, and just prayfully they're getting inspired, because, like I said, it's not easy.
no. Um, they said you mentioned how you just took off, just moved and came across country.
Yeah.
And this lady name is Vivian. Is it Vivian? Yes.
Okay. Hi,
She wants to
Vivian.
do the same thing.
Okay.
Is it what she want to know? Was it a leap of faith? Did you plan it, or did you just went on and just said, I'm moving, I'm getting away"?
Okay. So it was a mixture of the two. Okay. So my first time ever visiting Texas was July 2nd through the 12th of 2014. Again, I have two family members that are here, retired. So they said, hey, come on and visit, see how you like it. And I said, well, I don't really have the finances right now. And they said, well, we didn't ask you all that. So guess what? They booked my flight and I came to San Antonio, Texas. I fell in love with it. I stayed here for 2 weeks. I went back home to Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I moved permanently back to Texas November 2014, the same year. But let me tell you what that process was like. So this is why I say it was a leap of faith and it was a planning. Because again, I had some family members in Texas kind of, pouring into me at the time, telling me, okay, things to do. But it was still on me to make those moves. So it was a leap of faith. What I started doing, I started packing boxes in faith. I didn't even have like a moving date. I just knew that I was moving. I knew that I was leaving. So I started packing up my boxes in faith. Okay. Everybody else was saying, you ain't gonna be there long. You gonna come back here. It's not gonna work out. I mean, I was hearing some negative feedback, but I didn't let that consume my mind. I kept packing my boxes in faith. I was doing a lot of research in Texas, like on the internet in San Antonio, finding doctors, looking at job positions, talking to people, sending out my resumes, things like that, kind of giving them a general idea of when I would be in the area. But as long as we press forward and do things in faith and belief, it will happen. No one believed me when I was moving until I turned in my keys to my landlord and my mom was driving me to RDU airport. Okay, so when it comes to moving, you want to move from where you are. Start your research now. If you're
Mm,
already in an industry, if you already have a career, you already have some skills underneath your belt, your resume, whatever your resume says, go ahead and start looking for jobs now. Talk to employers. There's some employers right now, and I used to work in HR. There's some employers right now that will actually work with you. Tell them when you're going to be in the area. Some employers,
yeah.
some employers will actually pay you to move. Pay the cost. All you got to do is fly out, but start packing things up in faith. You don't even have to tell nobody. You don't. Tell people that you trust, tell people that you know will support you, and pray. Took a lot of prayer. My first time moving away from home, I didn't do any of that. I didn't do any research. I wasn't praying. I sold my Honda at the time for $1,000 and I went to California with a former girlfriend of mine, with her two sons, and with my son, who was 2 weeks shy of turning 1 year old, Gordon. By the time I made it to Monterey, California, let me tell you what some people may not know. By the time I moved to Monterey, California, that $1,000 was almost exhausted.
Mm.
More than half of it was exhausted. So you know what I did with the rest of the money that I had on me? I purchased an air mattress. And that's what me and my son slept on.
Wow.
That's it. I moved in military housing because, again, the former girlfriend of mine with her two sons, she's in military. She was military. We moved into military housing. Okay, I was encouraged to come to California. My mom encouraged me to. She said, go ahead, baby. All you have is your degree. You got your degree. Go ahead. So I went. But I knew, I'm just like, well, how am I going to do this? I don't have the finances. I don't have this. I don't have that. I was so worried and caught up in what I didn't have. I was just trying to start a new life. I went to the WIC office. I went to the human resource office. I didn't have a car. I was taking the bus, so you have to put pride aside and let the ego go
Yes.
when you are trying to go. And that's what I had to do. Yes, it was hard. Celebrated my son's first birthday in Monterey, California with an ice cream cake. And I didn't have any money coming in. I didn't have a job. Um, and I bought the rest of the money that I had, I bought an air mattress and we slept on that air mattress and we
Mm.
just had our own room. I didn't have anything else. And now, so sometimes you have to pray without ceasing. You have to move in faith. You have to have God with you every step of the
Yes.
way. That Cali move, I didn't have God. Well, he was right there, but I wasn't praying to him. I didn't have a plan. I didn't write things down. Nothing was structured. I didn't do any research. All I did was sell my car for $1,000 and I took my degree with me along with my son, packed up some clothes and drove to California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Another
hope that
question.
helps, Vivian.
That see, you telling some things I asked before. Tell us something about yourself. You haven't told
It
anybody.
just
You
came,
just
it just came
doing
to
it.
me. It came to me. It came to me. Yeah.
We got a question from Shamika.
Okay. Hey,
Um,
Shamika.
she's asking, she liked your story, and I'm gonna say it. She said, "Do you have a book?"
Oh, wow. No, I do not.
Well,
I do not
you
have a
need to
book
write a
yet.
book.
I do not have a book yet. However, I've already been asked by a really good friend of mine, a sister in Christ. Shouts out to Latasha Renee. She has already pitched. I've been asked to be a part of book project, so I really believe it's time for me to write that book, Gordon.
It is because listen to you. Of course, this segment is called "You Don't Know My Story,"
Yeah,
and that's one reason why I brought you on because of that. Because you have a story, and a lot of people don't realize what you're saying. You're helping somebody else out
yeah.
who's going through some of the same struggles that you went through, and
Mhm.
with you saying that, somebody's listening right now, and it's helping somebody else out. And that's the whole thing about "You Don't Know My Story," because, like I said before, all they see is Miss Cute C-Mac doing her podcast, and boy, she's so successful, but you don't know what it took to be successful.
You don't know. You don't know. And Gordon, I have to add something to the story about California. I was only in Monterey, California for 2 months.
Mm,
It didn't work out. Okay. I called my mom, tears in my eyes, because I didn't want to feel like I failed. She said, honey, some people don't even leave. It's okay. So what I did, I reached out to resources. I reached out to family and they helped me get back home. I didn't pay for the flight. Again, I had no money. I didn't pay for the flight to get back home. I packed up what I did have in a box and I went to the UPS store. I didn't even have enough money to send the box. I was short a couple of dollars and some change. The gentleman was so nice to me. He let me he allowed the box to go through. And I called the cab. There was no Uber. I called the cab. I made reservations for me and my son to be picked up. And it took us 3 planes to get home.
mm,
And then after that, I slept on my mother's couch. I went back, I slept on my mother's couch. I wrote out my plan, things that I was going to do. Because now I have nothing. I'm starting over. I went back home. It didn't work out. Now I come to Texas. I've been here 10 years.
mm.
So that's the difference when you have God and structure and you've done your research and you've written out a plan and you made it plain and you prayed. Versus when I went to California, I just took what other people were saying to me. Oh yeah, go girl, like go, ain't nothing here. Da-da-da-da-da. Go, you got a degree. I went, but guess what? I was only there for 2 months.
Mm.
But I would like to say that I ended up the money that I was short for my package, I actually sent it to the store
Wow.
in California, in Monterey, California. And I put a little note in there thanking the gentleman for
Mm.
just allowing for me to do that. Because when I went home, my clothes were actually waiting. That package was actually waiting for me. You know, it was all my clothes. I didn't have anything else. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's It's tough, but you know what? We continue to fight. We continue to fight. We continue to push through. The book is coming soon. The book is coming soon. New York's bestseller, I'm telling you.
Yep. See, you claim it. You got to claim it. Cause I have your number because I got some things to ask you off air. Something
Okay.
I'm going to get myself into, and I need your honest opinion about it because I got some things going on that is going to be great for the community,
Hmm.
and I would love you to be a part of it.
Okay.
Because of things that I'm doing, and I'm listening to you right now, and just like God is telling me, that's the one you need to get with. That's the one. That's the one. And I honestly do believe when he talks to you, how much time we got left? Oh, we got a few more minutes left. Um, I don't know about you, but God be messing with a brother. God be messing me at 3 o'clock in the morning, waking me up. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. I stumble into the office and I start working. And here's something I should have been doing. He's got me doing it. Then I talked to this young lady who's a pastor. You know what 3 o'clock in the morning is? I said, yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when God mess with you. He wants you to do certain things. You look
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock in the morning and look it up. And I did. I said, sure
Hmm.
enough, that is right. And so I'll get up at 3 o'clock morning. I stumble in the office. I start working on something. First of all, it's something I should have done the day before. I knew I needed to have it done. He made sure I got up to do it. So when you saying that leap of faith,
Yeah.
um, I always say that people, when I say God is good, they look at me. I
Yeah.
said, come on, what else you supposed to say? Come on.
All the time.
Yeah. And that person look at me, what you mean? And then you say God is good all the time, God is
God is
good.
good, right?
And people look at you and say, where did that come from? I say, you have not been to church in about 40 years. You need to go back to church.
Right, right,
Because that's the
right.
first they preached it in church. They preached it, take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
They you learn how to trust, you learn how you get involved with other people in the church. And we know church got a lot of backward people in there that's
It's a
sinners and all that.
hospital. It's a
We know
spiritual
that.
hospital. Yeah.
You look out for that, but church also bring you close together with somebody you didn't even know. And on top of that, you could go out somewhere and meet somebody and talk to them, and both y'all got the same thing going on. There's networking. You help each other out.
Yeah. Yeah. We are more um we're all relatable. We're all united. We are all connected in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not talking about because we are Black people. I'm not talking about, you may be in a room full of men. Yes, you all are men, but guess what? You are all more connected than you think. If I walk in a room full of women and I'm giving a talk, guess what? We're all connected. And I tell them that everyone in here has a story. Everyone in here has been through some things. Everyone
Mhm.
in here, uh, some people know what struggle look like, and some people don't know what struggle look like. You know, when you come to a point in your life when you're in a grocery store and you don't have any money and the thought of stealing diapers comes to your mind, that's what I thought about. Here I am I'm in a new state, I'm in a new city, I don't know anyone, I'm here all alone, I'm trying to figure it out. It's a lot, and it can be a lot on a person, and that's why it's so easy for people to give up. But I'm telling
Yeah.
you, when you want to give up, that's when the breakthrough comes. And if I may share a short story as to why I decided to take the leap of faith and move to Texas. I watched a video that Steve Harvey was on. He was in a parking garage and someone was following him with the camera. And they said, Steve Harvey, somebody is watching right now and they don't really know their next move. What is something that you can tell them right now? He said this that catapulted me into my next destination. He said, you see all these people on a cliff and you see people jumping off the cliff. Yes, they're getting bumps and bruises and scrapes and scars and wounds, but their parachutes eventually open. But if you are standing on the cliff watching everybody else, your parachute will never open.
Mm.
So that is the story. It is a clip. I'll go ahead and upload it. I'll send it to you. But that's what really inspired me and motivated me to go ahead and call my family members and say, "Hey, I'm ready to jump." And they said, "Hold on, where are you? Where are you?" I said, "I'm not talking about that kind of jumping.
Yeah.
I'm talking about I'm ready to make the move." They said, "Okay, give us 4 months." 4 months. It took 4 months. Within that 4 months, I was packing in faith. I was cleaning my apartment. I was doing my research and I was moving. And I did. And I'm still
Wow.
here.
Mm. It's funny. I'm gonna mess with you now. That question I asked you, tell us something I don't know about you. And you said,
Yeah.
wow, that's hard. But look how you open up,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
God just allows things to pop. Hey, well, remember this? Tell them about this. Tell them when I helped you with this or about this. I
Yep.
mean, and that is one of the experiences that I had. All the money that I had in my pocket when I finally made it to California, I used it to buy an air mattress for me and my son to sleep on. That's all
Mm.
we had in our room. I didn't have a TV. I didn't have curtains. I didn't have plants, nothing.
See, that's real
So
talk.
my mind was, my life was lifing. I'm trying to figure it out. To I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to start over. And
Hmm.
sometimes starting over is not pretty, but it's necessary. So guess what? I'm going to tell the people right now before I leave, before we end the show. If you move into an apartment and all you have is an air mattress, you're doing something right.
Mm.
If you move into an apartment and all you have is an air mattress and paper plates and paper forks and paper spoons and paper cups and some cereal, some milk, some hangers in the closet, a toothbrush, a few pair of, some clothes in your closet just to get by, get a bus pass. If you don't have a car, get a bus pass. Figure the route out. Figure out the routine of how you can make it to work. I walked every day for 4 months when I didn't have a car to work.
Mm.
I took the bus. I rode a bicycle to work for 4 months straight. This was back home in North Carolina. So whether it was raining, I still went to work.
Yeah.
Like, you have to push through without the pride, without the ego. God helps those who help themselves, no matter what it looks like. Because guess what? You come out looking polished. You come out looking bright. You come out smiling, but also God's going to use that and he's going to get the glory for all of that. And now he's allowing me to shine and inspire and motivate. But I have to tell people what he's done for me. Don't have me crying today, but I have to tell people what he's done. I have to tell people what he's helped me through. Because I'm telling y'all, just because the way I look, don't focus on that. It is the spirit of the person. It is the pursuit. If people remember the movie A Pursuit of Happiness with Will
Happiness.
Smith,
Yes.
and he got hit by the car and he still went up there. That is the resiliency. And I believe that we all have that.
We do.
We all have that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
You
a lot,
are.
man. It's a lot. That book is coming.
Yeah, that book is coming because we're pushing you. I'm gonna push you every time I see you or talk to you. Or I just text you, hey, where that book at?
I know it's coming. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Latasha, if you are watching this, I'm on board. So I gotta
Oh,
get up with her. Yeah,
all
yeah,
right. So how
yeah.
can people get a hold of you with everything that you're doing? You have your podcast. Tell us about your podcast where we let you go and all that good stuff.
Yes. So my podcast is called Peeling Off the Layers Podcast. It is a self-help podcast. You can upload it, download it anywhere you hear podcasts. I have a lot of episodes already there, Gordon. I'm also on Instagram at Peeling Off the Layers Podcast and on Facebook. If you'd like to send me an email, it's peelingoffthelayerspodcast.com. Um, yeah, that's how they can get in contact with me. Social media, I am on there. If you send me a private message or something like that, a serious private message, okay,
Yeah.
I will respond. Other than that, I won't respond to it. We're all adults here. But that's how you all can get up with me. I got a few things coming up. Oh my goodness. If I can say it. Oh, I'm
Yes.
also on TikTok. I'm on TikTok under CMac_POTL podcast. I have a virtual conference coming this year. It's going to be taking place in June. So big shouts out to the Loving Me Era conference. Oh my goodness. And I will be voicing the Science Bee for the International Academic Competitions. So I
Wow.
just got that. If you grew up watching the international spelling bee, they have geography, they have history, and they have science. So I will be the mediator and voicing the science bee. Is an amazing opportunity for me, and I cannot wait. But that's how people can get a hold of me. Yes, I am on everywhere you hear podcasts. I'm on Spotify, I'm on Anchor, I'm on Amazon Prime, I'm on all those things. So yes, thank you so much.
All
Gordon, thank
right. Look
you.
at you. I'm so proud of you. I haven't even known you 2 months. You're like a sister to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I have new podcast episodes coming soon. So if you are on my Facebook um, and on my Instagram, follow me. I'll be posting all the information there. I'm on Threads as well, but that's all connected through Instagram. But
Right.
I'm just so excited. More episodes coming soon, more voiceover projects coming soon. I'm excited and I'm just so thankful.
You send me anything you got coming out so I could push it for you.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so
you
much.
know, because you going places. You going
Thank you.
places. I see it right now. Can I get your autograph now before you come too famous?
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank
All
you.
right. Well,
And
you take
everyone who's
care.
been tuning in and watching and chiming in with questions, I really do thank them. Thank you for the love and the unwavering support. It really means a lot to me.
Okay. Well, you take care, young lady. Until next, I will be giving you a call later on today.
Okay, no worries. Or if you don't reach me, you can also hit me up on email. If I don't answer, please don't charge it to my head, my heart. But yeah, we'll
Deb,
connect. Thank you so
okay.
much.
All right. You take care.
All right, you too, Gordon. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
All right. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to WSAN Radio. Catch us on our YouTube channel, WSAN Radio SA. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button.